Nigeria, it's Wednesday, the 16th of July 2025, and you're watching Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. I am Oluwayemi Adelakun.
And I am Pat Aito. Thank you for waking up with us, your trusted weekend dose of fresh stories, real conversations, and informed analysis.
Exactly. Let's start by stepping outside briefly, shall we? Here's your midweek weather outlook across most parts of the country today. We're expecting partly cloudy skies with scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon, especially in cities like Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Temperatures will over between 27 to 31 degrees Celsius, so you might want to carry an umbrella just in case classic July weather in full swing.
Well, that's right. It's a bit moody out there, but in here we are keeping the energy bright and vibrant. Coming up shortly, we'll bring you the daybreak news, the headlines you need to know to stay ahead this morning. Right,
then we dive into the newspaper headlines and analysis, spotlighting the stories making waves in today's dailies. Expert or takes, insightful commentary, and those headline movements you'll be talking about all day.
And of course, our big story this morning is one that has been stirring deep national conversations on power and performance, rethinking presidential appointments in Nigeria's key institutions. It is a timely topic as more citizens are questioning the criteria, the politics, and the performance behind some of the most powerful positions in our democracy.
And joining us in the studio for that conversation is Honorable Omolaja Olaoye, a respected APC stalwart and political voice. We'll be asking, are appointment driven more by loyalty than competence? What reforms are possible to balance representation with performance?
Well, we will unpack all of that and more, so don't go anywhere. Then later in the show, we will slide into Trend Watch, where we can scan the social space and bring you the buzzing issues and viral stories, both at home and abroad.
Exactly. You know how we do: lively, thoughtful, and always keeping it real. So grab your tea, coffee, or your morning smoothie, because Daybreak Live is here to power your morning.
Well, if you are just joining us, this is Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. You can keep the conversation by visiting our social media on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at Dominioncast. And of course, you can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning, Emmy. How are you?
I'm very well. Nice to have you this morning.
Well, good to have you too this morning. A lot has been happening in our dear country, Nigeria, but that's not where we're going to.
Yeah.
Well, there's a story been alarming one, a saddening one, concerning over 300
dentistry
students in University of Calabar that were said to, okay, let's transfer you to another institutions, or perhaps you go home.
Of course, there's a lot to undo because a lot of the students came out to say that. I think I read that, the final year students, they have a few weeks to induction, and they've been asked to leave, or maybe they can try to transfer them. I think the students, try to persuade the management that, what, can you transfer us to the medicine and surgery faculty? And then I think the vice chancellor is saying that will not be possible. And of course, they want to transfer them to universities. Let's not forget that transfer takes time. It's expensive, it is slow, and of course, it doesn't work out most of the time. Look at these students, over 300 of them. They pay tuition fee. They pass MBBS exam. They paid for practicals, which is always expensive, and just maybe a few days ago they got to know that they have to leave, or maybe try to, I don't know what they are going to do with their lives currently. It's a lot to handle, really. What really happened with the quota? I learned that they are not supposed to admit more than 10% in a class, but I think in one of the classes they have about 128 of them. Really?
Well, like I said, this development is happening and outrageous. I mean, happening in a 45-year-old citadel of learning, that's University of Calabar.
Yeah.
And this is coming into light when we have the first female vice chancellor, substantive vice chancellor, talking about Florence Obi. And then, of course, there are lots of questions to be asked. Some were saying that some students, that the videos that I watched, some said this is not the first time this kind of a thing will be happening. That it happens in the engineering department, it happens in mass communication and pharmacy department.
Really?
Did you understand? Really? So it's something that happens every four years. The question is, who are we to blame? I think we'll blame the institutions.
Of course. I mean, who is in charge of taking in students when they are quite aware of the number of students they are supposed to admit, per session, really?
Because this really boomerang. them feeling like, okay, we'll get some multitude, we'll collect some lots of students, who admit them into that faculty, thinking that they will fail.
Exactly. I read the story. I mean,
and now they come out bigger, pass the exam, and surmount all the challenges.
We all know what it takes, I mean, to run from 100, I mean, to 600
level.
You have spent about 7 to 8 years in school.
And some of them will even do some menial job.
I mean, to
pay their school fees.
I think the government must, step into this. Though the Vice Chancellor vowed to undo the situation, and then she came out to debunk some of the stories that I read online. That I think maybe the provost or something
advised them to go and learn a trade.
And of course, a lot of them are complaining about the fact that the school is not really, ready to listen to them. I just hope this will not escalate into a kind of, protest, or riot, or whether, because a lot of persons online are saying, I cannot be in that school and they will do this to me. Really, you don't get to until it happens to you. You might not really know how to react to some of these things. And I think apart from UNICAL, we have issues like this even in other universities. Look at recently, a guy graduated from FUTA, and then he came out to say that his name is not
cannot be found.
He could not be mobilized, for NYSC. We are still on the issue now. I don't know whether it has been resolved or not. We need to look at all of these issues. Students are not supposed to, go through stress in
systemic
school.
Failure,
exactly, and still come out and
it's called for a responsible action from the appropriate quarters to fight for the affected students in the institutions. I mean, talking about UNICAL. All right, always know that you can join the conversation on www.dominion.org.ng, and of course, you can follow us across our social media handles, the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at Dominion Cast.
And of course, do well to stay with us, because right now we need to move to the news desk to take the break news. Please stay with us.
very good morning to you. Welcome to Daybreak News on Dominion Television. I am Pat Aito. The body of the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has been finally laid to rest at his residence in Daura, Katsina State. Dignitaries from all over the world are in attendance, including the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, leading federal government functionaries. Former President Muhammadu Buhari died on Sunday, the 13th of July 2025 in London. President Bola Tinubu has directed every federal ministry, department and agency to strengthen intergovernmental cooperation in authenticating the identities of Nigerians seeking consular services abroad. This was disclosed in a statement signed by his Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, assuring Nigerians, the United States and the Emirate government that the relevant MDAs are actively engaging to ensure that the concern raised and addressed through appropriate and constructive channels. This follows the recent changes in visa issuance policies affecting Nigerian citizens by the United States of America and the United Arab Emirates. Retired police officers in Nigeria have intensified calls for improved pension benefits as the National Assembly continues to delay the approval of 758 billion naira in outstanding pensions liabilities. This demand was made in the statement by National Association of Retired Police Officers of Nigeria, NAPRON, National President Paul Ochonu. The police retirees urged the federal government to urgently address the grievances of retirees under the Contributory Pension Scheme, CPS, to avert a planned protest by serving police officers. The association also recommended an increase in the federal government's contribution to retirement savings account from the current 10% to 20%, in line with Section 4 of the Pension Reform Act 2014. Oyo State High Court has struck out the case of attempted murder and land grabbing instituted against Oba Solomon Akinola Dioloko Ovoko. Akinola and 4 others were arraigned in November 2023 before the court by the state government. The trial judge, Justice Karim Adedokun, struck out the name of the traditional ruler after Abiodun Aikomo, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice of Oyo State, applied for the withdrawal of the case against him with no reason given. After the charges against the Oba was struck out, Adedokun adjourned the case until the 18th of September this year for the continuation of the trial of the remaining 14 defendants. The chairperson of the Oyo State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority, OILA, retired Justice Aderonke Aderemi, said the government has been working hard towards ensuring that the residents of the state comply with established regulations which make them live in a peaceful and safe environment. Retired Aderemi stated this during the interministerial briefing, noting that the authority established in 2024 was put in place to enforce existing laws relating to environmental protection, traffic management and open grazing, noting that it has achieved a level of success in ensuring order and peace in the society. She clarified that the authority deals with simple crimes and offences such as enforcing the rules to achieve a clean, safe and orderly environment in line with Governor Makindi's policies, rather than taking over the statutory functions of the High Court in the Ministry of Justice. And in business, the President and Chief Executive of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has commenced the process of developing Nigeria's biggest and deepest seaport in Olokola, Ogun State, a move that signs the expansion of his multi-billion-dollar industrial empire and a strategic push into maritime logistics. Speaking during an interview in Lagos, Dangote disclosed that he submitted the necessary paperwork for the seaport project in late June. The planned port, located 100 kilometers from his Lekki-based refinery and fertilizer complex in Lagos, is expected to ease the export of goods such as fertilizer, petrochemicals and liquefied natural gas, while enhancing access for imported equipment and raw materials. And in sport, Uzochukwu Eziobi has signed a 2-year contract with newly promoted Nigeria Premier Football League NPFL side Barao FC. The new deal will keep Eziobi at the Kano-based club until the end of the 2027-2028 season. Eziobi helped Barao FC gain promotion to the NPFL at the just concluded Nigerian National League NNL Super 8 playoffs. The centre-back teamed up with Barao FC last year. Eziobi previously played for Shakara Babes and Zamfara United. Barao FC is expected to make quality additions to its squad before the commencement of the 2025-2026 season. Always know that you can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at DominionCast. And that is the Daybreak News. Thank you so much for watching. Good morning. All right, thank you so much for staying tuned. All right, thank you so much for staying tuned to the program Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. We'll welcome you to this segment where we'll take you through what the papers are saying, main newspaper headlines. I'm very much here with you. If you're ready, Let's go. We'll kickstart with Daily Trust, and of course, Daily Trust has this one, how Buhari was honored, buried. We all know what happened. Sunday was a sad moment for us in our country, Nigeria, when we lost our former president. Talking about Muhammadu Buhari, a lot have been said about his life and times, his legacy, his achievement when he was a former head of state and, of course, a civilian government when he was a civilian head of the state as well, I mean the nation. So a lot has been said about the late former president of Nigeria, talking about Muhammadu Buhari. That's what we have there. And we still have the one from the Daily Trust, APC, Education and Digital Future. That's on page 20 of the Daily Trust. Well, if you want to read more, you can get a copy of Daily Trust. Away from Daily Trust, we head straight to the Punch. Like I said, nearly all the newspapers have the stories saying we'll bid farewell to a former president, talking about Buhari. And this one is coming from the Punch. Final salute. Nigeria bids Buhari emotional farewell. Picture of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu there, communicating with the dead like, oh, is this how we will end it? Do we still have to talk? A lot going on with that picture. A lot. The picture has a lot to say concerning that. Well, final salute. Nigeria beats Buhari emotional farewell. You can read with riders, Tinubu, Akpabio, service chiefs, governor pay final respect amid tears, tribute. Yes, a lot of them were actually saying good things. Maybe because they had contact with him. Poor Nigerians, one of us, I mean, somebody like me might not really have enough thing to say about President Muhammadu Buhari. Aside being a journalist, being a broadcaster, like, okay, this is what he did when he was the head of state. This is what he did when he was the president of Nigeria. Aside that, but people who had a close contact with him were actually saying good thing about this Daura, this Katsina man, and saying that he was a good man. Away from that, well, there was something that was striking there. I did not see the Emir of Kano talking about Sanusi. I did not even see him there. Well, that's for another day. We have this one again from the Punch newspaper. One of the riders says, Daura stands still as Katsina Airport records over 130 flights. The third rider is there saying that Oshibajo, former governors, join African leaders, Saudi King Prince Mon Buhari. He was a good man, truly. He might have failed in some aspects, but then we don't need to speak ill about the dead, but he is a good man. Well, away from that, we have this economic side of the story. Marketers protest as Dangote moves to crash cooking gas price. Why? Why are you protesting? Don't you want the reduction of this cooking gas? Away from that, we have this one. Awujale barrier frees Yoruba kings from ritual slavery. Who is talking there? The Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdurrashid Akombe, is talking there. Well, you want to read more? Page 20 of the Punch. Down below the paper, we have Nigeria's oil output soars above OPEC quota. And beside it, we have North Central states mobilize joint security to crush bandits. You can read more on page 26 of the Punch. And lastly, from the Punch newspaper, we have over 420 federal roads completed or in progress. Federal government is saying that. Well, we'll move straight to this day. These days still have this one. Like I said, it's all the newspaper, all the national dailies have the story concerning Buhari. Buhari buried in blaze of glory with full military honors. With the rider, Tinubu goes above and beyond to honor his predecessor, creating new presidential precedent. You can read more on page 3 of This Day. And from This Day as well, the business side, we have Sadiq Khan seeks to boost collaboration in business tech with Nigeria. That's on page 9 of This Day. And lastly, from This Day, we have National Assembly writes, Akpoti Uduaghan rejects reinstatement request. And this is on page 10 of These Days that have been back and forth with the National Assembly and the Senator representing Kogi, saying that back and forth concerning what actually happened, a suspension for 6 months. Well, now National Assembly writes here saying we reject reinstatement request. Let's see how that pans out. Away from that, we head straight to the Nation. Nation comes with us when Buhari exits in blaze of glory. What a good man. That's the Nation is having it as a big banner there. Buhari exits in blaze of glory. Riders, Tinubu, African leaders, governors, ordinary folk bid former president farewell. And Katsina Daura locked down. You read more on page 2 of the Nation. Away from that, at the top part of the paper, we have UAE visa issuance. Federal government begins action on issues of concern. That's on page 5 of the Nation. Beside it, we have the story of Natasha saying that Akpabio's appeal judgment on Natasha's suspension suit. Do not forget that another person has been mandated or has been appointed to replace her of the committee she headed while in the National Assembly. Well, we have this one beside it. We have 79 Ponzi schemes in operation. SEC warns. A rider. Stock market's capitalization rises to 127 trillion naira. That's both stories are on page 27 of the Nation. And lastly, from the Nation, well, that's inside of the Nation newspaper. Or let me say, lastly, from the Nation, we have police recover 5 million naira ransom cash. That's on page 6. And 27 killed in Plateau village attack. And that's on page 30. That's the insecurity aspect that we've been dealing with in the country. Well, away from that, we'll head straight to The Guardian. And The Guardian is coming with us when Saudi Arabia Moroccan King mourn Buhari praise service to Nigeria. Wow, selfless leader. Oh, that's on page 3 of The Guardian. And we have this, the business side. Dangote Fort's capital flight insists on investing in Nigeria. Page 4 of The Guardian. And we have this one, a big one there. Leaders, friends, politicians unite in stately farewell for Buhari. Page 6 of The Guardian. Party affiliation, if you're in PDP, APC, ZDP, any party, political parties you are, they all came together, united, and bid a former president a farewell. That's good. That's the kind of politics we want. We don't want the politics of basbos. We don't want. All what we want is come together, have an ideology that can move the nation forward economically, socially, and that's will impact that the common citizen will really see, will really feel the impact of what it says that you have done as a political leader, not otherwise, not other way around. Well, we have leaders, friends, politicians uniting stately farewell for Buhari. That's still from The Guardian. That's page 6 of The Guardian. We have this as well. Senate declines Natasha's recall, insists no binding order. battle to finish. Well, we have this again. We have economic side. Nigeria meets OPEC quota first time in 5 months, falls short of 2025 benchmark. It's a good news, a good development. Can we maintain it? We have this as well. TikTok restricts 211 million offensive videos, removes 3.6 million from Nigeria. That's where you see different. Benga, sure you know that your videos, the offensive one, they've removed it to TikTok. It's not me. We always tell them, all of them wants to, you know, the language they use, they want to blow. So the only platform they could use is TikTok. You say all manner of videos, then you keep on asking, are they human beings? Well, TikTok is actually doing justice to that. So it restricts through 211 million offensive videos, remove 3.6 from Nigeria, and that's on page 4 of The Guardian. And lastly, from The Guardian, we have Fresh Plateau onslaught claims 20 injures several, and that's on page 20 of The Guardian. Away from The Guardian, we head straight to the Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune is common with this one, but different, but it shows the last respect for former president, talking about Muhammadu Buhari. But his own concern, the big banner there, it's not about the funeral, but the Patriot all-inclusive confab begins in Abuja. You remember? This was said sometime last week that a Patriot all-inclusive confab will begin in Abuja. So it has started, it's going to start soon. A delegate set to discuss future of constitutional democracy. That's the first rider there. The second rider, there's a plan to draft people's constitution. Questions we keep on asking. Why do we like wasting money? We have confab that was done during former President Goodluck Jonathan. Why can't they implement that? Have we implemented it to know, okay, what else do we need? If we have implemented it, then I think we will call for another confab. From there, we'll get it right in this country. But now, that is wasted because it does not happen during this administration. It happens in another person's administration. It shouldn't be like that. Government is continuity. Well, away from that, we have Sea of Heads as Buhari state's funeral in Daura features full military honors. Riders, Tinubu, Shatima, Atiku, African leaders, governors, military leaders, ministers, family, others pay last respects. Pay last respect. Well, you can read more. That's the Nigerian Tribune. If you want to read, take a copy of the Nigerian Tribune and head straight to page 3 of the paper to read more. But then we have a lot of newspapers for you, but we might not be able to touch all. Up next, we'll come in with our analysis of us as our guest is around. Yes, see you again. right, welcome back. It's still Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. We head straight to newspaper analysis after letting you know what the papers are saying. I'm in the headlines. Being joined by Oluwaseun Oluwole. Good morning to you,
Good morning.
Sir. How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm okay. Behind the camera, I asked something and you just laughed that it's normal. Well, you said something there was it will happen. That's finally.
What will be, will be.
What will be, will be.
Sarah.
Queen Sarah. Now, our president, former president, is no more. I mean, we'll kickstart with the Punch, and the Punch has it this way, that's saying that, final salute. Nigeria bids Buhari emotional farewell. A lot have been said about the life and times of the late former president, Muhammadu Buhari. Yesterday was declared a public holiday, and a 7-day mourning was also declared because of him. What more do you think the federal government should do in honoring this great man?
Well, good morning once again. To start with, going through the life and times of the late president, ex-president, Muhammadu Buhari, you know, he came twice as the president, served Nigeria twice as a president. But it's good enough that we need to honor him. We have to honor him. Although there are mixed reactions towards people's comments.
Mixed reactions
like people were like, no.
Okay.
In this climate and in this culture of ours, there's a saying that you don't speak ill of the dead. You don't, no matter what it is. No matter what. You don't speak ill of the dead. So, despite all that fact that you don't speak ill of the dead, but let us put into retrospect, or put into mind that this man came, served, gave his best. Although the best might not be good enough for a whole lot of people, for a whole, a great percentage of the people out there. But nevertheless, the federal government has done much to. I've not actually seen an ex-president passing that way, and we have to pay so much homage. Go back to
been respected like this.
Yes, like this. Go back to Yaradua and every one of them. It wasn't as grand as this.
Don't you think because Yaradua was not, we were not told in time?
In time?
Yes, when Yaradua died. That was why he has not been
Do we have to have a
this way.
premonition of death of anybody, or do we need to be told that, oh, he's going to die?
People feel like Yaradua was hidden.
Yes, it might be hidden, but nevertheless, he's still a president. A president moving on, passing out, buying out. We need to do something more grand for the person, to that name, to not even immortalize. If we can't immortalize, we should celebrate the life and times of that person. But none has been done like this, and I think Buhari, nevertheless, you can't take it from the man that being bad or being good or whatever it is, the way you see it, he did well. Talking
about immortalization, what do you think? What edifice or what project do you think Mr. President should?
This has been something I'm kind of. There's a mixed reaction towards this, because I was telling somebody yesterday, okay, let's take a look at the issue of I wouldn't want to delve into it, but just let's take a look at this. The Polytechnic Ibadan. Now, immortalizing the former governor. The former governor. Now, naming it. So when you immortalize at times, some might deem it, some might fit in, some might not. So if we want to immortalize Buhari, let us have an infrastructure, maybe a new one coming into place, or one that, or maybe roads or something. Immortality lives beyond the name. What about deeds? That what we need to know, deeds. But nevertheless, maybe it's good, maybe it's wrong to some people. What we've done, we've done.
Okay. As a Nigerian, what would you remember former president for?
One thing I know about him that I know personally is this man try as much as possible to live a simple life. A simple one. But when he came as the first president, the first time he came as the president under the military rule,
okay.
Yes, things were quite different. The power game was quite different from when he came the second time.
As a civilian.
The second time, as a civilian, when I saw that, okay, this is not democracy. He has to, even he himself has to bend to the wills and caprices of some people behind the scenes that, so this is the way you do things now in democracy. Wow. Well, maybe that didn't play out well for him, but he tried his best. And from my personal opinion, from perspective, I knew he tried his best, but it as it may, this is democracy. You can't always have it. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
But the question again is, what would you remember him for? In one word.
Just one word. It's just a simple man that I love. The way of life.
All right.
Nothing much to write about. Millions there, billions there. No.
All right, let's leave that now. We're still from the Punch newspaper. There's one story there. Awujale's burial frees Yoruba kings from ritual slavery. Oluwo is talking there. And Oluwo of Iwo Oba Abdulrasheed Akombi said the courage demonstrated by the Awujale, his family and Governor Abiodun was a victory for the Yoruba race. Why did Oluwo consider this courage a victory for the Yoruba race?
I looked at that as a topic and I laughed. Is it because, no.
Why did you laugh?
Now, before religion came in, we have something we believed in. That is our own traditionalism. We were traditionalists before we had the Islam coming in, Christianity coming in. We believed in something, and there's a way of life that we believed in that chose our kings for us, that the way of living. Before colonization, before they came in and they met the Yorubas, as well as they are organized with traditionalism. Now, something else was introduced to us, and we took that in. Now, the issue of Awujale's burial, my own reaction is, if we say that Awujale passed on and the burial was handled one way or the other by some sect of people.
Some set of religion.
Yes. The coming in Awujale, the new Oba, are we going to actually take that traditional right away from installing the new king? If we believe, oh, this one has freed us from slavery, what about the new one coming in? Are we not going to follow that same right? I don't know what Oluwo is saying, because as a king, he has instilled himself on the people that he will be the one to perform the, whatever it is, the praying ground. Do you understand? So, if you think he is the one that will do the prayers at the praying ground or whatever, that's his own belief. But what does tradition do? What did he tell us about?
Well, let me do it this way. How did their action impact the Yoruba community? Because you're talking about, okay, when we have new Awujale.
Are we going to say that this act now is now going to let the Yorubas, put aside our tradition? It's negative. It's a negative part on our community. Even talking about the traditional rights concerning kingship of any area, it tells a lot. I could remember that my mom came from a royal line in Ayedo Ekiti, from Ayedo Ekiti.
Okay.
And we have the Oluyis, the That's the ruling house right now, which my mom tend to be part from. Now, when my dad died, you know, there this thing, the widows.
Is it from Ekiti as well?
No, it's not from Ekiti.
Okay.
My dad is not from Ekiti.
Okay.
He's an Ibadan man.
Okay.
So now, when he died, there's this stuff that Mashokpo for like some days and everything. And while you are doing that, you must be in black. But my mom came out and said something. See, I'm from a royal family. I'm a princess. I will do it, but not in black.
Oh.
But not in black. I will do it. I will respect my husband. I respect the tradition, but
I'm not
in
putting
black.
on the black
because
attires.
I'm a princess. It must be observed. Despite the fact that she's a CAC. So let us leave, like I said, it's going to be a negative impact. When you say now that the death of Awujale now freed us from traditional slavery, or no, that is another nonsense. Coming from a traditional head like him, saying he freed us, what made him the Olu of Olu?
He was just brought from Canada.
What made him? Maybe you should go back to Canada and become the mayor of Canada or something, or some way. What made him? Is it not the traditional rights? Is it not the lineage of where he came from that made him? And this lineage, did it just started today? No, so that's an apparition.
Well, let's leave that for them to iron out, and we have this as well. Marketers protest as Dangote moves to crash cooking gas price. Why are marketers protesting Dangote's plan?
Marketers now? Is it that?
And what are their concerns about the potential impacts on their businesses?
Maybe they think the moment it crashes, they won't get more money.
You know, a similar thing happens when when it slashed
fuel
price last week.
They said the same thing. That's why we the people are the enemy of ourselves.
How do you mean?
Do we expect that?
How do you mean that we the people are the enemies of ourselves?
Did the government crash the prices? No. A particular businessman decided to crash the prices because he can afford to, because things are now booming, because things are now improved concerning that sector. And we, the people, marketing it, selling it, I said, why do you need to bring out the price? People can still have, why do you think people can still afford? I don't get it. Now, crashing the price of gas,
gas.
The gas product now, and some marketers feel we can always adjust prices. Is it that when things goes up, we love it that way and we want to keep it that way? We don't expect it to come down. That's the normal saying in Nigeria, that whatever goes up will never come down. And what goes up must come down. That's what I know. But now, what goes up in Nigeria don't come down. Now we tend to have it that, some things might come down. And we say, no, why should it come down?
Because some people are eating from it.
Yes. Just because, let's say, selfish interest. And they want more money. And don't forget that this is a rippling effect. If you think, let it keep on rising, and you will always have it, it will affect all forms of services. It will affect everything. If I should raise this product and I think I'm going to get a product from you lesser, you will still put down on that product it's because of this thing. Now the product you are getting from me is high, but what I'm getting for you is not as much, but it will come high. It's a rippling effect. There's a Yoruba saying that says, if you keep on saying, there's going to be famine, you are clamoring for famine, what about your own kids? Are they going to eat your holy books? So that's the saying. So if you keep on clamoring for things to go bad, It's coming down to you. It will boil down to you one day, one way or the other.
Well, I've been looking at it like, what is the motivation? What is Dangote's motivation in for reducing cooking gas price? And how is he going to achieve this plan?
I'm not a businessman in that area. But whatever it is that has driven him to say that, oh, I'm going to reduce this thing, means there are a lot more where he's getting it from. And he thinks, oh, this thing can be affordable. It's not a bottlenecked issue here. Oh, since we're having it this way. Mind you, over the years, Nigeria has been burning gases. We depend so much on oil. And the products coming in from the crude, there are many. Gas is one of them. And over the years that we've been having kerosene and all those stuff, we've been burning out the gases. So our gas, our gas supply is much more than we can burn out in so many years. So we can still have it lesser. That is the dynamics of the issue right here. And the guy thinks, oh, this thing is much. People can still afford, we can still bring it down to this level because we need to sell it out. We can't be doing gas flaring.
All right, let's move. Let's move. Still economy now. We have this. Nigeria's oil output soars above OPEC quota. Nigeria's average daily crude production rose above the quota allocated to it by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries in June 2025. So for the second time in 2025, the country exceeded its OPEC quotas to 1.5 million barrels per day, first in January and second in June. So what factors contributed to the 3.58% rise in oil production from May to June?
I wouldn't say it's because of the issue we have with the Middle East, but quite frankly, our products we are rising above what we estimated that we'll produce. Just like the gas we are talking about right now. We are producing more. We have more now in stock that we can deal with. So all these things at the end of the day, we need to have an inward look to pricing here too in Nigeria, because we now have more in stock. If we have exceeded our quota for OPEC that OPEC has given it to us, then what about, that means we have surplus. We have surplus. Now what are we going to do with that surplus? How are we going to make money with that surplus? And what will be the impact of the surplus on the people and the financial economy of the country itself? So what I think Nigeria should do is, outside the OPEC basket, maybe we should look for another sort of supply chain where we can channel it out to, and where we can gain more. Yes, because we can't say that since OPEC must take it from us. Now that we have more, OPEC has already given us a quota. This is your quota that is expected from you. Now you are way above the quota. What if they say, okay, we are not going to take the surplus from you? Then what about the surplus? Can't we channel it somewhere else and gain more financial stability from there? So I think it's a good thing if we now say, okay, we are now having surplus in area of supply from crude, from oil, and from gas. It's a very good thing. That means if we put in production and everything, things should come lesser. Even we should see fuel coming down, the price of fuel coming down, and the price of gas too coming down, like Dangote has said. Why some people are now saying, no, they are kicking against it. Why should it? So these are good signs for the economy.
Well, Oluwaseun, let's look at it. What steps do you think Nigerian government should take to sustain the current level of oil production and to achieve its target of 2.06 million barrels per day in 2027?
One thing I think is a major effect of that is the management. You know, currently the Nigerian government just changed the management team of the NNPCL and everything. Maybe the new management, we should try and find out how they do things. Is it not the same NNPC way back that wasn't running smoothly? Now that we are now having surplus from them. There's something they are doing right that we should log onto and kick into. So that's what the federal government should do. I think the federal government should just hang on with them, get them more robust in their operations so that they can do more. Because actually the same refineries that we have are the same ones that we are now having surplus from. Isn't it? So the government should just, whatever it is they are doing, if there is a drug or a drug they need to be using or they need not to be using, they should keep on with it. Like way back in the days where they, is there something you need to be using or something you need to stop using? So
all right, before I let you go this morning, let's quickly touch this big headline from the Nigerian Tribune. The Patriots all-inclusive confab begins in Abuja. We have 2 riders there. Delegates set to discuss future of constitutional democracy and plan to draft people's constitution. What are the primary goals of all-inclusive constitutional conference organized by the Patriots?
Patriots, well, we've had so many.
Don't forget that we have confab that we've not implemented.
That's what I want to say. We've had so many confabs that has never been implemented. So having this one, well, let's see them play it out. But how many of these reports or assessments from all these confabs have we actually put in place here in Nigeria? This is confab. There was a time we even had one that was like grand, and we were like expecting
that's 2014.
Implementation to come out from it. Oh, there's a confab going on in Abuja. We have the likes of late this NDLEA boss and every one of them coming together. And nothing. Even their reports and nothing was implemented. So if we are now saying we are going to have a citizens constitutional, how are we going to? If it's going to be implemented? I will say okay, let's give it a go. But if it's not, let's just let it rest.
Well, some people believe that it's going to be implemented, having notable figures like Chief Emeka Anyoko,
who has never
Professor Wole Soyinka, and General T.Y. Danjuma. And what role will these notable figures play in the conference?
You are having it. This reminds me of.
Don't forget that these people are respectable people in the.
A scene in George Orwell's Animal Farm, where we have the humans now having a tea party with the pigs. And when the animals actually saw them, we were like, and men turning to pigs and pigs turning to men. We are talking about the likes of Professor Wole Soyinka, T.Y. Danjuma, and every one of them. Have their voices been heard before? Now they are coming together to have a confab or citizens confab. Is that going to change anything?
We want to give it a shot.
What about the ones that we've what about the other ones? Were they not good enough?
Maybe they were wrong, there were things they were supposed to look into, okay. And that's why they are coming up with this.
My own opinion, this is just another gathering where we allocate millions to accommodate, or billions to accommodate. Confab, we are going to have accommodation in grand hotels. We are going to have tea parties or tea gatherings and dinners and all those stuff. On which economy, from which post? Federal government post? For people to come, delegate, talk about our supposed to be constitution for our citizens. And after then, done and dusted. The report, hand it over to whoever, put it somewhere. We'll talk about it later. Is that not the normal norm? That's what's going to be. So they can go on as long as they can, but at the end of the day, we are not going to see the light of it. We are not going to see the light of it. So, to me, they can have it, but will it ever make sense? Will it ever make an impact? Will it ever have an impact on the citizen itself? I don't think so.
All right, thank you so much, Oluwase Oluwole, for shedding light on the newspaper headlines this morning on the program Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Well, keep the conversation going via our social media handles. We have Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at Dominion Cast. And of course, you can watch us live on www.dominion.org.mg. Thank you so much for being part of the show this morning. The show continues in a bit.
I welcome you to another incisive edition of Big Story today. We're looking at the topic, power and performance, rethinking presidential appointment in Nigeria's key institutions. From the anti-graft crusade to the management of our oil wealth and the interpretation of our laws, the EFCC, the NNPCL, and the Office of the Attorney General are pillars of Nigeria's governance architecture. But how often have these institutions lived up to their mandate? And more importantly, what role do presidential appointments play in shaping their effectiveness or their failures? Let's take a step back. At the EFCC, we have seen a mix of great controversy and inconsistency. Nuhu Ribadu was praised for a bold anti-corruption drive, but criticized for perceived political bias. Ibrahim Lamode, Ibrahim Magu, Abdul Rashid Bawa all came in with promises of reform, but exited amid allegations, court tussles or public distrust. In the oil sector, the NNPC, now restructured as a limited liability company, the NNPCL, has seen various GMDs and now a GCO. From the late Maikati Baru to Mele Kyari down to Bayo Ojulari, we have heard promises of transparency and deregulation. Yet, oil theft, power contract, subsidy scandals continue to plague the sector. As for the Attorney Generals, from Bola Ige's short-lived tenure to Bayo Ojo, Mohammed Adoki to Abubakar Malami, the office has often walked a fine line between legal integrity and executive loyalty. Now under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the country watches closely as Ola Olukoyede takes the reins at the EFCC. Lateef Fagbemi-San steers legal affairs, and Mele Kyari handed over to Bayo Ojulari, who continues at the helm of NNPCL. The question is not just whether these appointees are qualified, but whether their performance matches the power that they hold. Are we witnessing real institutional reform or the recycling of elite control? This morning, we'll be hearing from two distinct voices, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress who has insight into the logic of this appointment, Honorable Omolaja Olaoye, and also a political scientist who offers a research-based, non-partisan perspective, Victor Akinleye. Let's ask the big questions. Let's rethink the system. Good morning, Honorable.
Thank you for having me on this program. I'm delighted, and good morning to you at home who are viewing us in this particular moment.
Thank you, and good morning, Victor Akinleye.
Good morning, Yemi. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Good morning, sir. Honorable.
Good morning to you as well.
All right, let's start from the general questions. I would love to start with Honorable. Looking at Nigeria's key institutions like the EFCC, the Office of the Attorney General, and the NNPC, how would you assess the impact of presidential appointment on their performance over the last 25 years? Let's take it from the EFCC. We've seen cases of, embezzlement of funds, or maybe they are seen with issues of corruption. They are being removed. We've seen cases with the Attorney General as well. They are being, they have court issues as well. Looking at all of this, what do you make of the assessment? How well have they performed over the last 25 years?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
There can't be any perfect institution. And mind you, you have to realize that before EFCC was created, it was a kind of initiation being made by United States of America. They made us to realize that before they can be giving us a lot of things and we can be accepted to the world platform, we need to reform our opaque law, who has been burdened with a lot of court cases and ineffective judicial system.
Okay.
And they made us to realize that the SUV, whatever, a kind of arm of police who is in charge of fraud is not effective. So that is why EFCC was created in the first instance. You can see how some governors who are so emboldened with corruption challenged the power of EFCC recently, and they lost at Supreme Court because they made us to realize that EFCC is not in the Constitution. It's not in the Constitution, but is law that being made separately to be able to tackle corruption. Now, let's talk about the creation. Obasanjo did well, and I am telling you, Nuhu Ribadu performed well. You can say it's nepotism, you can say it's bias, you can call him anything.
Despite the cases that surrounded his tenure,
there is going to be a lot of controversy. You cannot have a perfect system. People look at things in different perspectives. Where you see the negativities, there is going to be positivity. When you see the positivities, there is going to be negativity. But after he has left office, we have not seen anyone that performed like him until Magu came. And when Magu was doing a kind of superior job, a kind of when he was doing a good job, there are some people who doesn't like his styles, and they make sure that they removed him. But now talking about the appointment by the presidency, the EFCC is going to reflect what the president is talking about. He's going to talk about the body language of the president. We have seen in this country during the time of President Jonathan, some people took Minister of Petroleum, Administration Manager, to court because they have been seeing how she's mismanaging Nigeria money. About $10 billion was controversy surrounding Alison Madueke. And what did the federal government do? They went to court and they placed a perpetual injunction on him, on the court case. So any EFCC chairman being appointment is a reflection of the presidency. It tells us what the presidency, the mandate the president gives him or how to do. So I think as we are during the time of was Ribadu,
okay, we
saw never that is that happened before a Inspector General of Police being taken to court. It was an outcome, his boss, and he cut out a lot of money. We know that. During the time of Ribadu, we have seen Senate President that we found his hand in a bribery cases, and it was removed. So we have to give kudos to these people. And mind you, a lot of out of this moment, a lot of governors were in court serving governor. They want to try. They want to find out their illicit transaction when you are talking about the state business, and they have gone to court to place a kind of injunction on EFCC not to check their their book. So to me, okay, EFCC are doing a great job.
Okay, let me turn to Victor Akilen. You've heard some of the things that he has said. Can you do an assessment of the past EFCC chairman that we've had, past Attorney General, and of course looking at the past, GMDs and the GCO that we have currently? Can you do an assessment of their performance, based on the fact that they were appointed, by the president rather than elections?
Okay, thank you. I will use a word Honorable said. That
okay.
There can be no perfect system.
Okay.
So there wouldn't be any perfect system anyway. However, this appointment to the persons appointed, we can actually...
Can you speak up a little bit?
We can actually question their credibilities. Like you said, Ribadu did so well. And of course, after Ribadu, we've really not seen someone who would outperform Ribadu in that office. That is true. However, everybody that has filled that role, permits me to say, they were not credible enough, and that is why we have not gotten somebody that is better than Ribadu. So the question is, who are or what kind of persons or what qualifies people to emerge or to be appointed for particular roles? And then I'll cite an example, but I'll come back there. Why would the president now appoint people, that would not function and wouldn't mind what the nation thinks about the appointments? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
Because if what we pray for is yesterday was good, today should be better. If Ribadu did well, then the next person should do better. So there hasn't been a proper structure to the appointments, and that is why we have not gotten better performances across board. Not only FCC, but NM, PCL, and every other parastatal. Here is it now. Presently, permit me to say this. I'm not supposed to say it, but I will. The present Minister for Power isn't somebody. isn't an electrical person at all, but for whatever reason appointed to that position, he would never perform to our expectation. It might be an accountant, it might know how to handle, it might have some capacities in several areas, but shall we learn how to put the right peg in the right holes? Once that begins to play out, then the idea of we do not have perfect system, maybe yes, but will reduce drastically. So
you don't think it's about the appointment, but about the type of people that have been appointed?
Yes, the type of people that have been appointed, number one, and the ideology behind the appointments. So why am I appointing you to this role? Then there has to be a structure that must be checked and balanced later. So when you are not performing well, considering the standard that has been laid down, then we should question you.
I have an observation when it's come to that.
Okay.
I mean, we have seen a situation in Nigeria when we are talking about the round peg in the round hole. We are talking about this, and we have seen a lot of people, even from those fields, criticizing anybody that has been appointed. Let's talk about, I'm talking about Aborishade. He was a lecturer. People have been criticizing that. Why should people who are not into education system being appointed as Minister of Education? Do you know who are against him? The lecturer themselves. They fought against him. They did everything. They said he's not qualified. They said he's probably second class. They talk about anything. And we have seen somebody who is an engineer, we are talking about Patinaji, that was appointed into Minister of Power. He didn't do well. He was embroiled in corruption. That is why he was booted out by Jonathan. Now, anybody, I keep in my area, we don't have electricity for about 2.5 years. I'm telling you, because the committee doesn't have the capacity to be able to buy what's it called? Transformer. We fought. We did what we can be able to do, and some of us get transformer. Now, we are enjoying electricity, unlimited electricity. I am telling you sincerely.
Okay, Honorable, let me.
I'm just telling you about this bio into the financial system. Nobody will tell me the electricity system has not improved in the area more than before.
Okay,
and so this was started by Buhari, because this is when we can be able to see that electricity can be. We've seen this cement deal was embodied in controversy, but now electricity can be stored and be given to people. Yep. It has improved drastically, despite the fact that Bayo Adelabu is from financial sector and is doing very well.
He has a counter opinion. Can you respond to that?
So please? This is what I was saying. This is what I want to say. When we put the right pegs in the right holes, if that right peg now does a mistake, then we can question him. Aborishade. Now, if we appoint an education person, like a lecturer, a senior lecturer for that matter, to the ministry as the Minister for Education, and you do less than expected, we'll fire you. So that will not be the problem of the nation again. That's your own problem. That is your own shame. You are a lecturer and you cannot perform well within your own jurisdiction. It's your shame, not the nation's shame again. So, yes, we should appoint based on meritocracy, number one, then credibility, number two. I might be a media person and not be able to, someone can be Aborishade is a fine example, or whatever. You can be in a particular space, in a particular sector of life, qualified, yeah, but then you do not have the capacity to handle a public office. Now, you cannot compare the VC of any institution to Minister for Education. Are you getting it? Okay. The VC of an institution is only governing an institution. Now, just within your administration is within the institution.
Right.
But when you now become the minister for education. You are governing the entire education of the entire nation. Hundreds of millions of people. Unlike thousands of where you are coming from. So somebody might have somebody might be qualified, but might not have the capacity in a particular role. So that will not be the problem of the nation. It is the person's problem. So what do? If there is a check and balance to this structure, we check it and then we balance it. Why are you not doing well? Despite the fact that you are still functioning within the same system, then is your problem. Is it that there is fear of office? Is it that there is fear of the people? Is it what is the problem? If it is what we can resolve, if he needs to go for training or more abroad, let's train him. If not, let's sit him down and appoint another person. It's that simple.
Okay, let me turn to
wait, I'm not done.
Okay.
Then for the power, fine. I will still maintain the fact that when we learn how to put the right pegs in the right hole, things would get better. Now, Bayo, you said, is doing well. You mentioned that you didn't have lights in your area for a while. Then maybe when Bayo came in or whatever, then you have light. Yes, that is a personal experience.
It's the contribution of the society, the community. When we got
let me use your word now. The contribution of the community. So your community took care of the lights, not the government.
No, the government now supply us the lights, so we are now enjoying it.
Okay, fine. But that is your personal experience. Yeah. We would have a counter experience somewhere else.
Because it's political. That's what I'm saying. It's political.
Okay,
because
why do you say it's political?
I am saying it's political because I've seen a lot of expression in the social media criticizing the elections. I've seen the friends that don't like Bayo that talks about that they have paucity of electricity, that they don't enjoy it in their area. But when you see a kind of a place like after Olodo that is more rural area enjoy electricity, why are you going to talk about Band A that is Bodija, Bashorun? When they are complaining, you will know definitely that they are lying. Because when you are talking about those areas, they are not Band A, they are not Band B. Probably they are Band C or D. And they are enjoying unlimited electricity. Now thinking about Band A, that the government are going to be able to get the money. You know, it is during his own time that he knew I cannot fuel electricity. That is why I choose a kind of system to be using as transport. I'm talking about bike. Now because of that, I have a solar system, no doubt about it. I cannot even use it anymore because I will charge this and it's not usable because I will see that light nothing less than 12 hours a day. I'm telling you, 12 to 15 hours a day. That's
impressive. But let's talk about this in 1 minute. Honorable, don't you think, okay, you think he's doing very well. Don't you think his office has some lapses here and there? Lapses is everywhere.
There are some, how to define it, you don't even know. He was talking about integrity and meritocracy.
Yes.
No matter what you do, it is
meritocracy and credibility.
Okay.
Credibility. It is so difficult to design.
Okay.
And to be able to assess, because how some people might look at you, probably you are doing good, you are not being biased, your family will say you are too rigid, and you are doing what is good, and by the time your family is talking about reflection of you, they are going to be talking bad about you because they will tell you don't help your family. But by the time you help your family, it becomes nepotism as well. The outsider will see you as somebody who choose your family more than them. Now, you see, what I see when you are talking about the elite is that the egocentric of that education system. We have seen so many times whereby the student fight with the rector, they fight with the VC of different university, talking that they are not competent. And these people are put there because of they were chosen among them. A VC is not going to be choosing from University of Ibadan to govern University of Ife. He's going to be choosing from the same institution. But still, they are going to criticize them. We have seen a lot of them that have been stoned. We have seen a lot of them that they have been demonstrated upon. So now, when you are talking about, there is no way you can be perfect. But let's take example of United States of America. See the way President Trump is governed United States and is handling the world. You will see the bias, the egocentric, the bad manner, and He was elected overwhelmingly. There is nothing there is no president that ever enjoyed the kind of a kind of vote he has enjoyed. He was used to be elected. See, you can see the bias of people. When you are talking about the escalation system, is questionable. His business antics is questionable. He accepted about an helicopter that is even, it is not allowed for any president to accept. He accepted it, and it has never been questioned. The Republican are always behind it. Imagine that kind of president happen in Nigeria. People will have crucified him. So when you are talking about integrity, metrocracy,
credibility,
yes, ability or whatever, it is not well defined.
I'll come back to you, Honorable. Let me speak to Victor. Let's look at this issue concerning past attorney generals. I mean, take Malami for instance. A lot of persons have complained that while he was in power, during his tenure, he used his office to actually benefit some of his political allies. So I want to ask you. I mean, you're non-partisan. Do you think some of these appointments are based on who can actually bow to some of my requests, ethnicity, rather than democratic instances? What do you make of that?
Definitely. Have you ever seen it in Nigeria where, I'm going to use this word, bipartisanship. This Trump is talking about engaged or did a lot of bipartisanship in his appointments. He picked people that are not in his political party into government, into his cabinet. Maybe if...
No.
Yes, he did.
No. He chose people who are, they are on the same business terrain.
Okay.
When you are talking about not being partisan, it's different. You might choose neutral people, but it's only government that is not. When you are talking about partisan, that means they are collective. But this man chooses people that are from outside. Outside the party community. Probably they are in. Look at simple. When you are talking about the man that owns X,
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. He's a businessman.
They're correct at loggerheads, correct?
Because their business mentality doesn't comply. That is why they separated right now.
Okay. Can you continue your thought?
This is what I'm saying. When we want to appoint people, you said ethnicity and all that. What's that word now? We wanted to put people that you will bow to you.
Exactly.
It is normal. It is a Nigerian thing. It is our Nigerian system that the constituted authority would ensure that people who are in his cabinet would listen to him, would bow to him. Why? Because they fear that if they connive or against me, I might lose my seat. So that is a fact that we cannot downplay.
Okay.
So yes, any constituted authority in Nigeria, anywhere, whether at the state level, local government level, or federal level, would appoint people that would listen to him in the idea of loyalty.
Okay, is there a way out, for our democratic system, if that's the case? Because I feel a lot of persons or a lot of people who are served in those positions bant on the fact that these loopholes are so much. So if there's an avenue for you to actually do some certain things and go scot-free, why not? What's the way out in this situation, really?
I bet I don't know that answer.
Okay.
But the thing is this. When we have, the only answer I can give is when every politician, the legislative arm, the judicial arm, the executive arm, when all of us have the mind of the nation, when all of us put the common man at heart first, we will do well. What I mean is this. If you are appointing any person, are you thinking of Salawu at OJ? How will Salawu at OJ benefit from this appointment? When that is paramount in your heart, then your appointment will favor the nation, not you.
Okay, let me turn to Honorable.
Let me quickly say something.
Okay.
Based on Elon Musk and all that, I was saying something the other time. Bipartisanship. If somebody is in an opponent, opposition party, and if someone is in an opposition party and he is credible, then why can't we bring him on board? Why not? Now, not only politicians, there are a wide range of intelligent people in the nation that we can bring them into the system. I will mention a few names. I'm sorry to mention their names, but let me do. Fela Durotoye, of course he has contested, but let's leave him contesting. Fela Durotoye, Leke Hauda. These are names. These are people that in their own industry they've done so well, meritoriously well. So what is wrong in giving Leke Hauda a ministerial role? Why not? Eventually, what we need him to do is to come and to come and bring his intelligence to the table. Abi, is that not what we need? We need productivity.
But we have also seen people who were choosing, within their jurisdiction, and they still perform woefully, really.
Yes. Yes. Like I said earlier, then the problem is not the nation. The problem is not the person who appointed him.
So what's the problem?
He is the one. Then it means from time you are a fluke or something is wrong. You are doing well before you came to this office. Now you go to the public office, you are not doing well. Then we should check what is the problem. Okay. You are doing well.
I don't think it's the issue of accountability, because I know that some of these people, the Senate must confirm them, but for some it doesn't need Senate confirmation. So a lot of them, let's take an example of this current GCU of NNPC. Recently the Senate has summoned him several times. He keeps sending the CFO, and then they will not engage the CFO. Why? Because they want to speak to the GCO himself, Bayo Ojulari. Really, what do you make of that?
So what is stopping him from going? Why has it not gone?
That is stopping him from going.
Can you speak on that, please?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
There's a lot of things stopping him from growing.
Okay.
The probe started from 2017 to 2023. It was not alright. Now, let's talk about, when you are talking about the Senate sometimes can be trying to play to the gallery. Because a lot of people are in different departments for a very long time. NNPC is government-owned, agency, and they are the one that are funding it. And they have different departments.
It's not a limited liability company.
Now limited liability company, no, but it's still it is being owned by the government, whether you like it or not. It might be listed in stock exchange, or who is buying their stock anyway. And you have seen you are going to see that it is the government that is giving them that subvention all the time.
Okay.
But now, those people should be able to do what is needful. They have not even grilled them. And mind you, when they discover these lapses, you are talking about 210 trillion or whatever trillion.
210 trillion naira.
210 trillion that was missing. They said to the Senate that they should give them about 2 months.
Yeah, but 2 months have passed.
It has not last. Everything that happened is not more than about 2-3 weeks ago, because we spoke it on this channel.
Okay, so
they asked them for about 2-month extension so they can be able to do their own assessment as well.
Okay.
I am not supporting them, but what I said during that time is that 2 months, 3 months is gonna come and go. They should be able to defend themselves. You knew when the former CBN governor Lamido Sanusi said about $20 billion was missing during the time of Jonathan. Senate doesn't come and challenge them and question them. Why now?
Really?
Yeah, it was in public domain.
Okay.
That is why he was sacked. He said to NNPC has not remitted about $20 billion.
Oh, so you are you trying to say because Senate is trying to call for
they have the power, they have the constitutional power to do that. It is, you don't need to play to the gallery. You must do what you're supposed to do accordingly to the law. If they ask for about 6 months extension, it's going to come, it's going to go. And I'm telling you, 2 + 2 cannot be 5, cannot be 6, cannot be 3. When you are talking about auditing, how do you think they got Mefele? It was not there. The the CBN was audited and a lot of missing money were found. That is why you have auditor. Auditor can audit anything, even 23, 24, 30 years. They can still audit it and go the balance. What I'm now saying is that the Senate must do what the Constitution requires them to do.
I mean, that's what they are doing. They have asked the man to show up.
Yes, it is not mandatory. The man must show.
Really?
We have seen in the past. We have a lot of people doesn't even.
Honorable.
Okay, can you speak on that, please?
Honorable. If you are a Yoruba man,
yeah.
And I won't speak Yoruba, but there's an adage in Yoruba that says, if you are sure of yourself, then there won't be any reason for you not to show up for that. Yeah?
Okay.
So if you are sure of yourself that my hands are clean, I am transparent, why send the CFO? They summoned you, go there. This is me, what do you want to do for me?
And he gave an excuse that, I think the CFO said he attended, a seminar, the OPEC seminar in Vienna.
Fine. They summoned him 2 or 3 times. Did he attend OPEC seminar 3 times? These are flimsy excuses, man.
Do you think it's as a result, before I allow you to speak, Honorable, do you think it's as a result of the fact that, the Senate did not confirm his appointment? It was appointed by the president and started working.
Okay, this is it. The Senate won't confirm all appointments.
Obviously.
Of course they would. Paramountly, the ministers.
Okay.
Then some other cabinets may not really be.
Yes.
But in key roles,
okay.
EFCC chairman, ICPC chairman, what's that? NNPCL chairman, and the likes. Those ones should be confirmed. We should check their background, check what they've been doing.
The antecedent.
The antecedent, definitely. The antecedent, yes. We must check, we must know. Even the nation should know why this person is going for this role. Then let the Senate check what they need to check, and then yes. So maybe because if the Senate summons a minister, he will run there, because initially you went there to discuss about. You went there to what's the word now? Oh, this word. Oh. They will call you. You will come and there's this word we use. There's this political word we use. But then you will go there to.
Serve the people.
No. When the Senate summons you, when the presidency or when the president, the constitutional authority, submit your name for the Senate will call each person on that list to come and prove themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if the GCO has been in the Senate before to prove himself credible of that seat, in one call he will be shivering.
Really?
The Senate is your boss.
Okay. So you think it's because it was not confirmed by the Senate?
It could be part of it.
It doesn't matter. Even if it's
confirmed, it might not be.
Can you speak on that issue?
We have seen, the head of army being confirmed by what's it called, by the Senate, and he refuses during the time of Buhari. He refuses to obey Senate when it was being called. But I would say this is good to the polity. It's good to the polity in the fact that there are now pressure on Ojulari to do what is mischievous. And I will tell you sincerely, even if he's going to get a leeway, he will beg his way and he will come. He might be giving any excuse right now.
Okay.
If we go,
he should go.
I am telling you, because the Senate are not going to leave him alone.
Of course.
And they are going to make sure, whether he's introvert, whether he's extrovert. Some people are introvert. They cannot be able to face the crowd. But he must learn his lesson that.
I don't think he's an introvert. I watched some of his interviews. He's very eloquent.
He's very eloquent.
Yeah,
exactly.
Even if he is an introvert, right? You are adding one of the biggest government agency of the nation. All right.
But you have seen a lot of people that
buckled. Introversy.
No. You have seen a lot of people that buckled when it's come to them being grilled by the Senate. A lot of them have made mess of themselves. Because you are talking about a lot of people. It's like you are in the court of law being grilled.
Okay.
I am just saying, some people. I am not talking about Ojulari. I still accepted, and I still believe, and I still want him to attend and heal the call of the Senate.
All right.
It should go.
We need to leave. Honestly, let me begin to appreciate both of you for joining this conversation. It's been exciting. Honestly, and thank you, Honorable Omolaja Lai, for showing up, and of course, Victor Akele, thank you for showing up as well. The conversation continues. Really, we do hope that you've been able to profile some solutions in terms of the kind of persons that we should appoint, and of course, there must be people of integrity. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. Once you're appointed, you must be able to do the needful so that we can have a peaceful society. All right, it's time to leave, and I want to tell you, power in the hands of a few can transform a nation or trap it in a cycle of underperformance. Institutions don't fail on their own. They fail when leadership lacks vision, integrity, or independence. As Nigerians, we must ask not just who owns the title, but what they do with the trust it carries. It's time to rethink appointment, demand performance, and hold power accountable. This has been Big Story, where conversations profile solutions to issues in the polity. Stay inquisitive, stay informed. I am Oluwayemi Adelakun saying good morning. All right, I welcome you back. Thank you for staying with us this morning. It's still Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. However, before we go, we need to talk about some trending issues on social media. And of course, I'm not alone in the studio. I have with me Park Ito Back.
I'm still very much here.
I like the vibe.
All right, good morning. Of course, welcome to Trend Watch, and of course, the Trend Watch here. We have this one coming from Mary Remy Unjoko, saying that Nigerian medications are losing their potency. And what exactly are we being sold in Nigeria? What is going on with our drugs? And imagine taking medication, believing you will get better, and then dying from something completely treatable, simply because the drugs didn't work. NAFDAC help?
Honestly, and I think she also said that she shared the recent experiences. She said, I had food poisoning on set, sent his staff to buy Imodium from the arguably one of the best pharmacy chains in Nigeria. A medication I've used many times before. I took it for 3 days straight and nothing changed. The symptoms did not stop. Then my husband returned from a trip and gave me a tiny tablet of the same drug, from his time from abroad. She took it and she was okay within 5 minutes. It's actually one of the issues that we must look at in this country.
But I guess the NAFDAC have not been effective ever since we lost this woman, Dora Akunyili. And back and forth have been fighting of adulterated drugs, drugs that are not effective in the market. They will tell you you need to scratch and send this code to this number to just know if the drug is okay or not. But for her to come and say that, said that I use this drug and it's not working, I think NAFDAC needs to work. They need to rejig that administration, not just NAFDAC for mouth, but then do enough
real action. I think you're very spot on, because I also feel like the reason why a lot of persons, have the liberty of actually, bringing out, some of these fake drugs is because they know that some persons will rather go for the cheap ones. I've seen instances whereby a lot of people go to all these, small, kiosks that sell drugs, and it has led to a lot of, complications. Why? Because they cannot afford to buy the original. Even the original, you're not sure of it. So it's an area to look at. We cannot continue to be in this country, and we are even scared to take drugs.
Well,
really.
I remember that Two-Face Idibia sang a song then, a tribute to one of his friends that died all because of what was it called, typhoid. And it was talking about the drugs being drug gotten for him. But I think there are lots NAFDAC needs to do.
Exactly.
Professor Mojisola, you have a lot.
Obviously. So we do hope that something will be done in due time. All right, this is where we say a BYE on the show this morning. Thank you for being a part of the program. Do well to join us tomorrow same time at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. My name is Oluwayemi Adela. What I'm saying, stay cool.
And of course, keep the conversation going via our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at DominionCast. And of course, visit our website www.dominion.org.ng to watch us and interact with us. My name is Pat Aitu, saying have a good morning.